Hi, everyone. So glad you're here with us tonight. Hi, Lakin. Happy Monday. Welcome to your practice, everyone. Whatever this Monday included for you, I hope that you get what you need on your mat this evening. I know it's been a bit of a nonstop one for me. So I'm very excited on the mat together this evening. Playlist is in the chat. It's also in the description of the video if you would like some music for your practice this evening. Silence sometimes is also a really awesome option. And as always, please, please, please do whatever it is you need this evening, which might be just laying on the floor, staring at the ceiling and seeing what shapes you see in the ceiling texture. It might be taking it up a notch. It might be taking it down a notch. Listen to what you need and give yourself just the right amount this evening. When you are ready to get started, you can go ahead and push play on that playlist. And let's come on down to our back. And as you come down to the back, we're going to bend the knees, let the feet go wide, and the knees fall in on each other. Let's bring your hands to the low belly and invite your eyes to settle or to blink to shut. Let's all take a really full breath in. Let yourself fill up. And a full, complete breath out. Let's do that one more time. Big, full inhale. Maybe open your mouth and let it go. And then let's begin to transition into your steady, grounding, focusing breath. Guiding yourself into a place and a space here that feels both a part of your day and also very separate from everything that this day has or maybe has contained for you. Welcome, Debbie. Definitely better late than never. Giving yourself the invitation here to step off the treadmill or the hamster wheel of busyness. And to gift yourself a few moments or an hour, if you will, of stillness, of focus amongst all of the movement, the noise, the chaos. Let's take just a couple more breaths here, settling in this evening. Inviting yourself into the space that you need from your practice this evening. Perhaps weaving into your breath any intention that you need to be a part of this movement, this breath, this focus tonight. Let's start to separate the knees, wiggle the feet back to about hip width. And we're going to take your two arms up overhead and get long through your fingertips. I'm going to invite you here, if it's comfortable, to keep your eyes closed so that your gaze is a little bit more introspective. And let's begin to float your feet up off the ground. So you've got the shins parallel to the floor. And then we're going to take your arms above your shoulders, hands reaching toward the sky. Now with those eyes closed, if it's comfortable, as you exhale, we're going to tap your right heel and your left thumb to the ground. And then ease the leg and the arm back up as you inhale. As you exhale, we'll take left heel, right thumb, tap. Maybe you find a cat with your foot. Inhale, leg and arm back up. Alternating side to side here with your breath. Exhale, it's opposite heel and thumb. Inhale to bring them back up. Start to feel the low belly and the support of your core turn on. That low belly providing stability and support to your low back and your spine. Let's do one more on each side. And then as those limbs come up this time, we're going to move both of your hands onto your right knee and pull it into the chest. Take your left leg out long to straighten. You can put the heel on the ground if you'd like. You can rest it on your fur child. Or if you're feeling this core work this evening, you might hover that left heel just an inch or two off the floor. And everything that we do this evening, inviting a great amount of space, maybe even kind of a sense of inner stillness. Let's just easily, gently switch. Left knee comes in, right leg extends out long. You could have heel on ground or fur child or hovering off the ground. And the breath tying everything together in this very steady, almost wave-like ebb and flow. Let's bring your right knee in. Go ahead and hug onto both shins here. Let's slide the hands down, maybe toward the ankles, maybe toward the feet. We're going to curl your head up toward your knees, teeny tiny little ball of yourself. And then we'll start to rock and roll up and down your spine and make your way up and over into your table pose. Setting up for cat-cow. So as you come to hands and knees, wrists below shoulders, knees below hips, we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the head, cow pose. And exhale, round your spine into cat. Back and forth there. At this rhythm that you've begun to establish for yourself, cow pose as you inhale, cat pose as you exhale. Noticing the effect this evening of eyes open versus eyes closed. Making a very intentional choice as we move through our practice tonight of what you're doing with the eyes. If you're choosing to close them, if you're choosing to keep them open, if eyes are open, what you're choosing to focus your gaze upon. Let's go one more round through your cat-cow here. As you inhale this next time, we're going to start to slide your right leg back, maybe your left arm forward. Left hand can also stay grounded if you'd like. We're just going to hold and linger here for a moment. You might kind of find a little ebb and flow, a little pulse forward and back here if it feels nice to be a living, moving, breathing organism tonight. As you exhale this next time, we're going to bring knee and or elbow underneath you, rounding the spine, and then inhale, elongate, reach forward, kick back. We're going to do that 2 more times. Bring it in and get long. And bring it in and get long. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. You can stay just as you are, or if it's interesting for you, you can bend your back knee, reach back for the foot, grab onto that foot and push the foot into your hand. Can there be enough space in all that we do tonight to acknowledge, to almost step back and just take it all in? Without slingshotting, let's release the foot, reach forward, kick back, and let the left hand come on down to the floor. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat into domed hands. We're going to roll to the fingertips, dome the palms away from the ground, let your head hang heavily between your arms. And then inhale, flatten your palms, flatten your spine. And let's get that other side. Left leg stretches back. Right arm reaches forward. Remember, the invitation to keep your right hand down is there, always, always. You might add or explore just a little shift back and forward. And then with your next exhale, left knee, right elbow come in, round your spine. Inhale, get long. 2 more times. Staying here or bending that back knee, reach back with the hand, grab the foot, push the foot back into the hand. Notice where the eyes are. Notice where both the outward physical gaze is and where your mental gaze is. What are you paying attention to in this moment? We'll release the back foot, reaching forward, kicking back long. Hand and shin to the ground. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Doming those hands once again and letting the head fall. Inhale into table. Flatten the palms. Tuck your toes under and hips up and back. Downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, let's take a moment here to pedal those legs. So bending one knee as you straighten the other and switching. I was on a plane for a very long time yesterday. This feels necessary and amazing. And then let's go ahead and softly straighten both legs and take a little tail wag, hip side to side. And then bring the hips to center and let's walk your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips slide up the shins. Exhale, fold forward and release. Let's bend your knees quite a bit. Roll up inch by inch by inch. All the way to standing. At the top there, we'll take your 2 hands skyward, reaching up toward the ceiling. Press the palms and exhale, hands down into your heart. Maybe dropping the eyes or closing them for a moment. Feeling the moments of stillness, even amongst the movement. Moments of peace, even amongst the busyness, the noise, the craziness of life. Let's inhale, hands upward. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, we'll fold forward. Maybe give your fur child some love if they're close by. And then inhale, rise up, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, long spine. And then as you exhale, we'll fold. This time we'll step your left leg back. We're going to bring that back knee down to the floor. And let's come up onto your fingertips. And just let the heart lift, let the shoulders move back. If your arms aren't quite not long enough to reach the floor, you could put a couple blocks under your hands. Let the pelvis press forward toward that front heel just a bit. So instead of kind of pulling back like we sometimes do, tonight go ahead and let those hips press forward and let the front of the left hip breathe a little bit. Nice for long plane rides, for days at your desk, for post-hike or run. And then we're going to shift this back into your half splits. We're going to straighten your front leg. You might pick that foot up, move the heel forward. The sole of the front foot is lifted and the toes are pulling back toward the knee. If you're feeling a lot of sensation here, you might stay. This is enough. If you want a little bit more, you'll take one of your hands to the toes and just easily, gently pull back on the toes. And then we'll rebend the front knee. Let the sole of the foot come to the floor. Plant your hands. And let's sneak back into downward facing dog. Doesn't need to be graceful, just find a way. Now, if you are taking care of shoulders or wrists this evening or just kind of want to mellow or practice, I'm going to invite you to stay here for a few breaths. If you want to keep moving, we'll inhale, come forward into plank. Drop your knees to the ground for this first round. He hasn't had a class since last Tuesday. He's needing his yoga. And bend your elbows straight back as you lower down to the belly. Untuck your toes. And let's take a moment here, just lift each foot and then put it back down and feel a really deep connection to the top of the foot into the floor. Feel your quads engage. And then inhale, let's lift up into your baby cobra shape. Heart lifts, shoulders lift. Let's maybe even take your hands back an inch or two so that there's a little bit more room to get into the shoulders. And then let the forehead come on down. We'll press into hands and knees, come on up, table, and downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, we'll inhale, left leg up toward the sky. Exhale, we're going to bring your knee forward, but don't step the foot down. So let the shoulders come over the wrists. Inhale, take the leg up and back. If you're game, we're going to do that 2 more times. If you're not, stay here. Exhale, knee to heart. Inhale, up and back. And 1 more time, knee to heart. And up and back. And we'll step your left foot forward now between your hands. Back knee to the floor. Pop onto your fingertips. Let the heart lift. Let the collarbones broaden. Shoulder heads move back. Invite the pelvis to press forward toward that left heel. And then we'll shift into your half split. Weight pulls back. The front leg straightens. The sole of the front foot lifts. You might stay with 2 hands on the ground. You might take one of your hands to the foot and gently pull back. And then we'll release the foot, bend the front knee, shift forward. Tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee. And we'll step your right foot forward next to your left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up as you inhale. And exhale, hands down into your heart. Pausing for a full breath in. Pausing for a full breath out. When you're ready, hands go upward as you inhale. And we bow forward as you exhale. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, we'll fold. We'll step your right leg back. So this time, we're going to put that back knee almost on the ground, just barely hovered. Heart high, shoulders broad, cow lunge. And then we're going to let the front leg straighten any amount, and we're going to fold over that front leg for cat lunge. We'll go back and forth here a couple times. I'm going to demonstrate with blocks in case you have them and want to add them in. So just give your hands a little boost. Both knees bend, heart lifts, cow lunge. Exhale, both legs straighten, and you fold, cat lunge. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. How about one more time? Bending the knees, lifting the heart, straightening the legs, and folding. And then we'll bend just the front knee this time. If you added blocks, slide them off. Plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Always the invitation to stay put, or inhale, plank. Knees up or down, elbows point straight back, chaturanga. We're going to take the baby cobra again. So come down, root into the feet, feel those legs engage in fire, and begin to lift the heart, the shoulders away from the ground. This time, if it's available, we're going to float your hands up off the floor. Give the elbows a little hug back toward one another. And then exhale, hands down, forehead down. And we'll press up to plank and back to downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, let's inhale, right leg lifts. Again, you can stay here if you'd like, or exhale, bring it forward, shoulders over wrists, knee to heart, like you're going to kiss the knee. Inhale, take the leg up. And 2 more times. Bring it in. And kick back. Bring it in. And kick back. And then we'll step your right foot forward between your hands. Add those blocks in if you would like. And then cow lunge, knees bend, heart lifts. Legs straighten, and we fold. Back and forth there a couple times. Cow lunge. And cat lunge. 2 more. We're going to bend just the front knee this next time. Look forward. Step your left foot forward next to your right. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, fold. Let's rise up, reach up as you inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. Pausing, feeling your breath. Taking that moment to be still, to be present in between the doing. When you're ready, we're going to open the eyes, find a steady point to gaze upon. Shift into your right foot. We're just going to bring your left knee up toward the chest. Reach down and grab onto thigh or shin and give the leg a firm hug in. And then let's firm that outer right hip in toward the midline, the spine of your body. So it's not a sassy hip. It's nice and stacked, firm, providing stability. And then we're going to take that left foot back behind you. And we're going to grab with either just the left hand or some of you maybe left and right hand, providing kind of a stirrup grab, if you will, around the ankle. Pull the foot in toward the back side. Let the knee point straight down. And let that inner left thigh soften back. Tailbone lengthening down toward that left knee. Let the shoulders move back in space. And then softly release that grab on the foot. We're going to step it all the way back into your crescent lunge. Hands to the sky. And then as you exhale, we're going to bend your elbows out to the side and stay here for an inhale in your cactus arm shape. As you exhale, we're going to lean forward, press the elbows and the forearms together. Kind of think cat pose, a little hollowing of the front body. And then inhale, shoulders over hips, elbows wide. 2 more times like that. Exhale, lean, press. Inhale, lift, and open. 1 more, press. And open. And then we're going to lean and press 1 more time. This time we're going to keep your body leaning forward, but we're going to open the arms back out into that goalpost shape. You can stay here if you'd like, or start to rotate around your waist so that that left arm points down, right arm points up. And let's really activate that left leg. And then we'll go ahead and untwist. Let your hands come down around your front foot. Maybe you add blocks if you'd like. Give that back foot a little step in. And we're going to straighten your front leg. Might not get all the way straight, just let it head that direction. Honor how you're feeling tonight and the type of practice that you need. You might stay here. You might begin to transition into that right foot. Coming into, it's standing splits, but let's call it standing leg lift. Keep our expectations realistic. Keep that left leg super active. You could put blocks beneath your hands if you'd like. And you could play with balance this evening by shifting maybe one or both hands onto your calf. From wherever you're at, we're going to end up with your left foot on the ground next to your right foot. Soft bend to your knees and just a complete release of the spine, the head, the arms into your forward fold. Bend the knees a little bit more. And we're going to roll up inch by inch by inch, all the way to standing. At the top there, let's take a couple big shrugs of your shoulders. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, and down. And then 2 hands up to the sky, reaching up. Shifting into your left foot when you're ready. We'll take your right knee up toward the chest. Hands come down onto hamstring or shin. And give that leg a firm hug in. So a couple things we do here. A lot of times we tend to lean back or hover forward. See if you can keep the body just stacked, like you're standing at the top of your mat and you're simply bringing the knee up toward the chest. Firm your outer left hip in so it's not popping out to the side. 1 more breath here. And we're going to take that right foot and begin to transition it back toward the backside. You might grab on with just the right hand. You might grab on with both hands. Use the hand or hands to pull the foot in nice and close to the backside. And then let the right knee point straight downward. The inner right thigh soften back. The tailbone lengthen toward the ground. So hopefully through those little actions, you feel a bit more release, maybe even a sensation of quote unquote stretch in the front of the right thigh. And then we're going to take that right foot, step it all the way back into your lunge. Hands go up to the sky. And we'll bend your elbows out into that goalpost shape. With your next exhale, we'll lean forward, press your forearms, your elbows together. And then inhale, come on up, open the elbows wide. We'll do that 2 more times. Press and open. Press and open. Now we're going to press one more time, leaning forward. Keep the lean. Open your arms back into that goalpost shape. You might stay here, or you might begin to rotate, taking the right elbow down and the left elbow up. Keep pressing up through your right thigh, right heel presses back. And then we'll unrotate, hands to the ground, and let your front leg straighten any amount. Remember, you can add blocks in if you'd like. You might step that back foot in a smidge. You can stay here with 2 feet on the ground if you'd prefer, or begin to shift forward onto that left foot, coming into standing leg lift, right leg lifts. 1 or 2 hands on the ground, 1 or 2 hands on that left calf. Exploring balance as it suits you this evening. From wherever you're at, when you're ready, right leg will lower down next to your left or step forward next to your left. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your knees, let yourself completely fold. Arms heavy and draped, spine heavy and draped. You might even bounce a bit or sway a bit. And then inhale, halfway lift, fingers slide up the shins. Exhale, we'll fold, plant your hands, and we'll make our way back into downward facing dog. Invitation to stay for a couple breaths. Invitation to roll forward to plank. Knees up or down will lower. Chaturanga to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Hands maybe floating an inch off the ground. And this round, we're going to have the invitation to fly your feet as well. One more full breath here. Feet come down, hands come down, forehead comes down. We'll press up through table and all the way back to child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together. Forehead on mat, or you might stack your hands and give your forehead something to rest upon. Finding stillness once again. And observing all of the movement that exists within this stillness. The beat of your heart, the pulse of energy, movement of your breath. Let's lift up just a smidge, just enough you can crawl that left arm forward. We're going to reach your right arm underneath the left and let your right cheek come on down to the ground. If this is too much with the deep flexion of your knees, you can do the same shape, but with hips over knees instead. It's a little more traditional. The version I'm offering tonight is in child's pose with that right arm reaching underneath the left. Guide and encourage your right shoulder down the back, away from the neck. And then wiggle that left hand back so you can push down into your left hand and come back up. We'll crawl your right arm forward. Wiggle that left arm underneath over to the left and let your left cheek come down. Glide that left shoulder down the back. Allow yourself to be heavy wherever you need to be heavy. And then we'll come on back to center, setting that right hand back, pressing down, coming up through table, and downward facing dog as you're ready. As you find your down dog, let's take your right leg, start to lift it up and back. You can keep the leg straight and square, or you can bend the knee and roll your right hip over the left into your scorpion down dog. Wherever you're at with your next exhale, we'll take your right knee forward toward your nose, step your right foot between your hands. We're going to ground your back heel, let the toes spin out, and we'll come on up into warrior one. Apparently haven't gotten my ground legs yet from flying yesterday. My balance is wobbly. Maybe yours is too. It happens to us all. So as you come on up, let that back heel really press down and back as you bend, as you lunge into the front knee. And then if it works in your neck and your shoulders tonight, let's start to turn your gaze up toward the ceiling. Maybe press your palms together overhead. And then let's press the palms together if they're not already. Bring the hands down into your heart. Let your gaze come forward. We're going to shift into your right knee, or right foot, and bring your left knee up towards your chest. Give the leg a squeeze, hands on hamstring or shin, your choice. Start to feel that right leg underneath you supporting you. Firm the outer right hip in. And then we'll take your left foot to the back side. Go ahead and grab on with your left hand. Right hand's going to go up toward the ceiling. And if it's available and interesting tonight, push that left foot into your left hand, taking your dancer pose. Notice all of the wobbles and the movement and the shifts, the adjustments to find and maintain balance this evening. We'll slowly release that back foot, and we're going to step it all the way back into your crescent lunge once again. Ground your back heel, open up, warrior two. Shoulders open to the long edge of the mat, right hand forward, left hand back. We're going to take your left hand down the back leg as you sweep your right arm up and back into reverse warrior, letting the sensation here be primarily in the right side body as opposed to the belly. So the torso stays facing the left side of the mat. You can stay here with the front knee bent or straighten your front leg for reverse triangle. And then we'll bend your front knee. Hands come down around your front foot, back heel lifts. And let's bend that back knee all the way down to the ground. Just pause. Feel the pelvis, the hips relinquish into the support of the legs. Let's place that left hand below your left shoulder. Bring your right hand to the top of your right thigh and push down into your right thigh to spin your heart toward the right side of your mat. Option to stay here. Option to pull that left foot toward your butt. Maybe reach back with the right hand and grab on. Start by pulling the foot into the backside if you have it. Move your left shoulder back in space. And then go the opposite direction and push the left foot into the right hand. If you've got the foot, we're going to go back and forth there twice. So start to pull the foot in more than it's pushing back. And then kick the foot into the hand, moving the foot away. Pull it in. and kick away. And then we'll slowly release that back foot, let it come to the ground. Right hand to the floor outside your right foot. We step back, downward facing dog. Maybe you choose stillness and you stay here. Maybe you come forward for your vinyasa, plank, chaturanga. Let's keep it in that baby cobra shape tonight, and you choose if the feet are down or if they're lifting for locust legs. Back to belly, back to forehead. Table or plank, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. When you're ready, we'll take left leg, lift it up. You can stay here, keep it straight and square, or bend the knee. Roll that left hip up and over the right. And then we'll step your left foot forward between your hands. Ground your back heel. We'll rise up into warrior one. Hips are facing the front of the mat. Back heel is gliding back as your front knee is gliding forward. Maybe you stay just as you are. Maybe you start to turn your eyes upward. Maybe you press the palms together overhead. And if the hands haven't pressed yet, start to bring them down into the heart. The eyes go forward. We'll shift into your left foot, bringing your right knee up into your chest. Grabbing on, hamstring or shin. Outer left hip firms in. Quad is strong and active. Shoulders back. When you're ready, right foot comes to the right butt. Right hand reaches back, grabs pants or ankle or foot. Left hand forward. Stay here or foot into hand for your dancer pose. We'll release the foot, softly step all the way back into your crescent lunge. Open up, back heel down, warrior two. Shoulders now facing the long edge of the mat. We'll keep the front knee bent and pointing right toward the middle of your front foot, and let's reverse. Right hand down the back leg, left hand up and back. Your choice to keep the front knee bent or to straighten the front leg. We'll bend the front knee. Hands down around your front foot. Back heel lifts. And then let that back knee come on down to the ground. Feel that moment where you just relinquish and release into the support of the ground. And then right hand under your right shoulder. Left hand to the top of your left thigh. Push down into the thigh. Rotate. It's a new one. Rotate and roll open. Just a more efficient way of saying that. Stay here or pull the right foot in toward your backside. Reach back with the hands. Grab on. If it's a struggle, if it is so intense to grab the foot that you can't kind of step back and take it all in, then let it go and come back to a version that allows you to feel the space. If you've got the foot, let's pull it in toward the backside and then kick the foot into the hand. Go back and forth there twice. Pull it in and kick it back. One more. Pull in and kick back. Release the foot. Left hand outside the left foot. Downward facing dog. skipping the vinyasa and staying here if you'd like, or rolling forward, lowering with your exhale all the way to the ground. Again, we'll take baby cobra, no weight in the hands. Maybe the feet fly. Maybe your hands float. Back to the forehead, back to the feet. Press up through table or plank, inhale. And downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, we're going to take your feet, walk them off the sides of your mat just a smidge, so it's a slightly wider stance. Crawl your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees any amount as you end up in your forward fold. Invite gravity to take your arms, to take your head, to take your spine. Bending your knees enough that you have lots of space for that release. You might be still here. You might add just a little shift side to side. What I've been exploring in my practice this week is as I shift my torso side to side, kind of straightening the opposite leg, and then shifting. So as my torso goes left, the right leg straightens a bit. As my torso goes right, my left leg straightens a bit. Maybe just a couple more breaths here. And then we'll release your arms, let the hands find the ground, and let's wiggle your feet in just a bit. Toes turned out, heels turned in. Those heels below your hips. We're going to bend the knees, let yourself sit on down toward a squat. So if it's comfortable to come down into Malasana, full squat, here you are. If you'd prefer half squat with elbows on thighs, also a great option. Let's start with hands together, palm to palm. Feel the line from your tailbone through your crown. If you are in half squat, you're going to keep your right elbow on your right thigh. And if you're in this full squat, you're going to take your right hand to the ground with the arm inside the knee. Left hand up toward the ceiling. So whether you're in full or half, that left arm will go up. And then come back to center, palms at heart. Other side. So left elbow on left thigh, or left arm inside the leg, hand on the floor, right hand up on the diagonal. Back to center, palms together. Breath or two more here if you'd like. If you're feeling like you want a crow pose, hands to the ground, knees to the back of the arms. If it's in your practice, there you are. And when you're ready, you guide yourself down to seated. Take the time you need to enjoy your squat, to enjoy crow. And we are going to meet up with hips on the ground, soles of the feet together, holding on to ankles or shins, and sitting nice and tall. Eyes closed or open. Lifted or dropped. Just notice where you've placed your eyeballs and what it's creating. If you're happy here, stay. If you would prefer to begin to hinge, to fold forward, let your hands walk out in front of you, any amount, and begin to bow. If you are folded, let's begin to ease on up. Take your hands to the outer legs. Bring the knees back together. Hold on to the backs of your thighs as you slowly ease yourself down onto your back. All the way down, letting those knees come into the chest, holding on to shins or thighs. Feeling the head find the floor, the back of your shoulders connect to the ground. Each bone of your spine beginning to settle onto the floor. And then let's release your feet down to the ground, knees bent, feet, knees hip width, arms down alongside the body. Let's press into your feet, begin to lift your hips up away from the ground. And then exhale, lower them down. Lift and lower a couple times, and then we'll settle. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. One more time, lift. And lower. I'm going to lift one more time. If this dynamic lift and lower is perfect for you tonight, just stay with that. If you lift and you're like, oh yeah, I want to stay. Stay if you wish. Maybe walk your shoulders underneath you a bit. Maybe clasp your hands together. Breathing evenly and equally into the front and the back of your body. And then nice and easy, release your hands. Release your hips down to the floor. Wiggle your feet out a little wider as you slide your arms out to a T or a goalpost shape. And we're going to drop both of your knees to the right. Just a complete flop, or a plop, if you will, into the ground. And then knees back up to center and over to the left. And bring the knees back to center. Wiggle your feet in just a smidge. We're going to bring your right knee into your chest here. And we're going to crawl that left leg out to straight. Now, using your left hand, let's pull your right leg across your body as you open your right arm out to the side. And we're going to roll all the way onto your outer left hip. You might even kind of lift up and scooch it underneath you. I'm going to invite you tonight just to place that right foot on your inner left thigh, kind of support the knee there. I'm going to give a couple additional options, and I want you to try to pick one that, again, gives you that space to sit back, to observe, to take it all in. Okay. This might be where that space exists. You might begin to bend your left knee, bringing the foot toward the butt. Reach down with your right hand and grab the foot. If you try it and it's not happening, don't push it, don't force it. Just let it go. If you've got that back foot, let that right shoulder reconnect to the ground. This pose is called cat chasing tail. And there's one final additional option if you'd like. That right foot, instead of resting on the inner left thigh, can kick out to straight, and the foot can come down to the floor. One of the most pretzel-y of the pretzel poses. So if you feel a little bit more like a A po' boy baguette. Not a pretzel. Just back off. Be kind and compassionate to yourself. If that right leg went straight, go ahead and rebend. If you've got the left foot, go ahead and release. And just kind of wiggle your way back onto your back. Take a moment there at center to exist, to linger in a full breath. And then we'll bring your left knee in and crawl your right leg out to straight. Right arm is going to guide your left leg across the body as that left arm releases out. Come onto that right outer hip as much as you'd like. And then let's just start by tucking the left foot on the inner right thigh. This might be your overlook, your vantage point. You might stay here. You might bend your right knee. Reach down with your left hand and grab on. If there's struggle, if you give up space in order to add on complexity, then let the complexity go. And if you have the foot, just let that left shoulder drop into the ground. That left leg can stay bent or can come out to straight. If you're like me and you have a wall available, it's a really beautiful way to do this pose. Foot on the wall. But the foot would just ultimately fall toward the ground. And if that left leg is straight, go ahead and bend it, releasing the grab on the right foot, wiggling it onto your back. And once you've wiggled onto the back, take your legs out to straight, letting the feet flop open. Let the arms come alongside the body, palms facing up. And feel the backside of your body beginning to mold into the ground. Bring the eyes to close if that's comfortable. Invite yourself to settle into the beautiful cacophony that is life. The stillness and the subtle movement. The silence and the sound. The simplicity and the complexity. Be here. Be now. Take rest. Let's begin to take a slightly fuller breath in. Slightly deeper breath out. When you're ready, starting to invite movement back into your body, just starting easy and small. Bending knees as you're ready and placing feet on the floor. Absolutely no rush to press the ground away and to guide, to ease yourself up to a comfortable seat. Eyes remaining closed if that's comfortable, and palms coming together in front of your heart. And bowing in gratitude to this life that is your life, all that it contains. And taking this practice with you this evening as a gift to yourself and to everyone you connect with along the way. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you practicing with me this evening. Hope you got what you needed. I got what I needed. um, let's see. So we're down to Monday night live streams. If you haven't seen that note yet, so I believe Seville is teaching the next couple Monday nights. So for the next few months, it'll be a rotation of Jamie, me, and Seville through the Monday night 6 p.m. live stream. And if you're not able to be here with us live on Monday nights, they'll be available as recordings as they have been. And I think that's the primary announcement right now. I just appreciate you guys all being here, taking time for yourself and taking time together. Um, Debbie, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you made it here with us tonight. I hope you're well. Yeah, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening. I hope I see you very, very soon. Take care.